Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user Joseph Wetter. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my brother's girlfriend to my wedding even though she insists? Hi everyone, I'm in a tough spot and not sure if I'm in the wrong. I, 30 male, and getting married in 3 months to my fiance, 28 female, and we decided to keep the ceremony pretty small. About 50 guests, mostly close family and dear friends. We don't really have the money for any more people. My brother, 35 male, has been dating a woman, let's call her Anna, 32 female, for about a year. They're not married and don't live together yet, but they're clearly serious. However, Anna has been a problem since the beginning. In a few instances we've interacted, she's made snide comments about my fiance and our wedding choices. For example, she criticized the fact that we're having a child-free wedding. She said our menu sounds too basic. We chose traditional Italian food, nothing fancy. Yummy. Once in front of the whole family, she joked that she doesn't see our marriage lasting long. My fiance feels uncomfortable around Anna, and honestly, so do I. When we sent out the invitations, we only included my brother, assuming the reason would be obvious. Well, it wasn't. When Anna found out she wasn't invited, she blew up. She called me saying it's a matter of respect and that as my brother's partner, she should automatically get an invite. My brother agrees with her and even threatened not to come if we don't invite her too. Now, my parents have stepped in, saying it's just one day and we should try to keep the peace in the family. But my fiance and I feel like inviting Anna would mean sacrificing our comfort on one of the most important days of our lives. I don't want to exclude my brother, but I don't think I'm obligated to invite someone who has been disrespectful to us. So, am I the a-hole? No, Opie, you're not the a-hole. It is your and your fiance's wedding. You guys are paying for it yourselves. You don't owe anybody anything. And all this crap about, oh, just bite the bullet for the family. F that crap. Your family should be backing you. Anna was disrespectful to you and your fiance, so why should she get an invite? Out of respect? Get the F out of here. If you don't respect me, I don't have to respect you. It's a two-way street. And your brother threatening not to come, my answer would be, well, I'm sorry you will be missed, but I do hope you can make it. Anna's still not invited. Bye. And then you and your fiance enjoy your wedding. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's check out the community comments. You Say What Now says, you are absolutely not obligated to invite someone and you have multiple valid reasons. 1. You have chosen to have a small wedding with limited guest numbers, which is absolutely your prerogative. 2. She has repeatedly made snide comments about your wedding choices. 3. She has even gone so far as to say she doesn't see the marriage lasting long. Who would ever invite someone who felt like that about their marriage to come and celebrate it with them? And 4. Keeping the family peace should be said more often to the problem person, not the victims of the crappy behavior. Why aren't your parents encouraging your brother to keep the peace by accepting your choices for your own wedding? He also needs to understand that his girlfriend's own crappy behavior is the reason she's not invited. At the end of the day, I'd stand my ground. He can either attend or not, and likewise for your parents. And Opie responds, thank you for this. You've summed up my feelings better than I could have myself. I completely agree that keeping the peace should be directed at the person causing the conflict, not the people dealing with it. My parents seem to think that keeping my brother happy is the easiest way to avoid drama, but that just leaves my fiance and me to carry the burden. It's frustrating because we've done nothing to provoke Anna. Her behavior is the root issue here. As much as I want my brother there, I feel like inviting someone who openly disrespects us would set a bad precedent for the future. It's not just about the wedding day, it's about standing up for what's right. If that costs me some family goodwill, I guess that's the trade I'm willing to make. Thanks again for the validation. Sometimes you just need to hear it from someone else to feel less crazy. Enigmatic Soul says, just tell him she doesn't support your marriage, and as this day is literally you getting married, why would she want to come? Also, the wedding is child-free, so she couldn't come anyway. Ask your parents why he can't keep the peace in the family for just one day. Looks like they have revealed who the golden child is. And Opie responds, actually, my parents are very protective about me, but sometimes it seems like this makes them feel guilty about my brother, so they become extra sensitive about issues between us. Don't know if this makes sense. Turbulent Ebb 5669 says, unless your parents are paying, they have no say. You don't have to like who your sibling does. Do what you want at your wedding. If people don't like me, they're not people who have your back. And Opie responds, thank you. No, we did it with our only strength. Also because we wanted to do it in our own terms. Still, difficult to suck it up, especially when my parents seem somewhat disappointed in me. And DevilPup55 says, definitely not the a-hole. I am curious if OP has ever called her out on her snide comments. I know, brother's girlfriend, don't rock the boat, yada yada yada. I would have been like, did you really just say that? Don't let that twit anywhere near your wedding. And OP responds, I did comment on her behavior multiple times. I'm not one to keep a comment for myself. This, in fact, has been the excuse. I'm rude because I comment and don't keep things for myself. The community judged OP not to be the a-hole, and they all say, yeah, stand your ground, don't invite her to the wedding. So now, let's move on to the first of two updates to see what happened next. Hi everyone, thank you so much for your comments and advice on my original post. It was incredibly helpful to read different perspectives, and I'm happy to share an update now that the situation has been resolved. After reflecting on everything, I decided to have a direct conversation with my brother. I explained that the decision to not invite Anna wasn't about disrespecting their relationship, but about the hurtful comments she made and how they made my fiance and me feel. I told him that our wedding day is a day for us to feel safe and supported, and I wasn't willing to compromise on that. At first, my brother was defensive, but eventually he admitted he hadn't realized how much Anna's words had affected us. I also made it clear that if Anna truly wanted to come, she would need to reach out to us, acknowledge the past behavior, and commit to being respectful at the wedding. To my surprise, Anna actually texted me yesterday. She apologized for her comments, saying she didn't realize how much they hurt us. She promised to behave appropriately and assured me that she wanted to celebrate our big day without causing drama. While I'm still cautious, I appreciated her effort and sincerity, so I agreed to let her come with clear boundaries in place. One thing I really want to highlight is how much my parents stepped up after our initial conversations. When I told them how important it was for my fiance and me to feel supported, they backed me completely. They even talked to my brother and reminded him that this is our day and that respecting our choices should be the priority. Their support made a huge difference, and it honestly strengthened my resolve to stick to what felt right for us. The final agreement is this: Anna will attend the wedding, but only under the condition that she respects our boundaries. If there's any inappropriate behavior, my fiancé and I reserve the right to ask her to leave. She agreed, and my brother seemed relieved that we found a solution. We are now feeling much more at peace and excited about the wedding. Thank you again to everyone who commented. You gave me the clarity and confidence to navigate this situation in a way that worked for us. Okay, well, it sounds like OP found a way to make everything work and he got an apology that worked for him. Personally, a text apology wouldn't have been enough. She insulted me and my fiancé in front of our family. She should apologize to us in front of the family. Anybody can write a fake text that sounds honest when you're not looking a person in the eye. But apologizing to someone in front of other people, that takes humility and it shows remorse. Anyways, we have a final update, so let's move on with that to see how this story ends. Alright, since some people are still questioning whether Anna's apology was genuine or if my brother actually wrote it for her, honestly, I don't care. What matters is that whether she meant it or not, the responsibility for her behavior has now shifted entirely onto my brother. The reason they're so adamant that she comes, I think it's a matter of principles and appearance at the same time. It would look bad for my brother's relationship to not be together, and she still wants to feel a part of the family. Not coming would make her feel rejected also by my parents. Anyway, he vouched for her, he convinced me to let her come, and now if she does anything at the wedding, the blame will be on her, not me. Everyone in the family now fully understands who the real problem is, so I no longer have to stress about trying to prove anything. If she screws up, she's the one who will face the consequences, and I won't have to lift a finger. At the end of the day, I don't need to be her friend, I don't need to trust her, and I definitely don't need to care about whether her apology was heartfelt or just damage control. All I care about is that she knows she's on thin ice. My brother is the one keeping her in check, and if she so much as breathes wrong at my wedding, she's the one who will burn for it, not me. So yeah, I'm done worrying about this. Whatever happens, happens, and I'll enjoy my wedding regardless. Thanks again to everyone who gave solid advice. I really appreciate it. Oh, and since this is Reddit, I know some of you will still find a way to twist this into me being the bad guy. Go off, I guess. At the end of the day, I'm getting married, I'm happy with how things turned out, and if Anna embarrasses herself, it won't be my problem. My brother's made his bed, now he gets to lie in it. Enjoy the speculation. Well, OP, you're definitely happy with the outcome, so that's a positive update. I hope you and your bride have a lovely wedding. Take care, OP, and thanks for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user BasicGrapefruit4826. Am I the a-hole for not going to my co-worker's birthday party? So I, 24 female, work at a high school with my co-workers, Carrie, 29 female, Leslie, 26 female, and Marissa, 30 female. All of us get along well, we eat lunch together every day and go out for drinks to de-stress from work, lol. Leslie and Marissa are a lot closer to Carrie than I am, for context. 2 weeks ago, Carrie made a group chat with our co-workers for her 29th birthday party, but I wasn't included. I didn't know until Leslie asked me what present I was bringing for Carrie. When I told Leslie that I didn't know about the party, she asked me if I was arguing with Carrie. Honestly, I wasn't mad about not being invited. Me and Carrie aren't that close, and she can choose whoever she wants as her birthday guests. Leslie told me the date and place of Carrie's party, but I didn't plan to go because I don't want to be rude and come uninvited. So, last Saturday was Carrie's birthday. I sent her a happy birthday message and hope that she enjoys her day. Carrie said thank you, and we had a small conversation about her plans. I didn't get an invite from her, so I decided to stay home. On Sunday, I got some text messages from Marissa that went like this. Marissa was saying, "Hey, why didn't you go to Carrie's birthday party last night?" "Oh, I'm not in a group chat, so I thought that I wasn't invited." "Didn't Leslie tell you where it was? You could have shown up." "Yeah, but Carrie didn't invite me. I don't want to be rude by coming without her knowing." "But still, we're co-worker besties. You should have asked Carrie if you could go." If Carrie wanted me at her birthday, she would have told me. We talked yesterday morning. The conversation ended there. Today's now Friday, 5 days since then, and the three of them completely avoid me. We used to eat lunch together in the staff lounge, but now they eat in Carrie's classroom, and whenever I pass one of them during morning duty, they just stare and ignore. The past few days were really rough, and I've cried during my lunches because they were my support system since I started teaching. I genuinely thought we were friends, but now I'm just rethinking about everything. Am I the a-hole for not going? Well, no, in my opinion, you are not the a-hole. You weren't invited. You actually spoke to the person whose birthday was. You said happy birthday and you still didn't get invited, so why would you show up? Anyways, OP, I think it's okay that you are rethinking, but you shouldn't be rethinking everything. You should just be rethinking the friendships, because if they act this way and now they're icing you out because you didn't go to where you weren't invited, they're acting like children, like genuinely, like a middle school clique or something like that. Ridiculous. No, OP, you're not the a-hole. Find a better support system. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Active Excitement 813 says, "You weren't invited, so you didn't go. And even if you were invited, that doesn't make you an a-hole. Be careful though, I think someone is stirring the pot here, and I don't think it's OP, not the a-hole." And OP responds, thanks for the insight. I'm really hoping that no one's trying to stir the pot cause I hate workplace drama, but I'm probably gonna cut ties with my coworkers for how they're treating me. Just really sucks right now. Educational Bid 8421 says, there's a saying, your work friends are just that, work friends and not outside of work. Keep your distance from your work buddies in the future. Friendly is okay, but don't let your guard down. These gals sound like mean girls from high school that didn't mature. And OP responds, that's true. I guess it's hard for me to separate work from personal life because teaching literally takes up everything. I've known them for 2 years and we really did get along well, but I guess things can change. Vivid Motor 2341 says, honestly, you could talk to Carrie about this. Let her nip it in the bud. I'm sure she won't be happy. They're trying to force someone she didn't invite to go to her party. And OP responds, yes, I've been trying to reach out to Carrie through texts and visiting her during her off period, but she's giving me the cold shoulder too. I don't know why things changed after 2 years. And Johnny Rhodes says, I have had this exact situation many times in life. My friends will talk about plans they have together in front of me, and then when I don't go, why aren't you here? I wasn't invited. We talked about it in front of you. If you talked about it in front of me and didn't invite me explicitly, that just seems rather crappy. Too many experiences where people do exactly this, then you turn up and they make it a negative. My friend group now understands that if I don't get invited, I literally will not turn up. To assume you would just turn up feels like they're happy to crash parties. The community agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that she needs better friends. So now let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. Earlier today, I sent a message to both Leslie and Marissa telling them how I felt. I sent something along the lines of, hello Leslie and Marissa, I just wanted to address something directly instead of walking on eggshells for no reason. I wished Carrie a happy birthday, but I was never invited to her party. I don't go to events that I'm not invited to, and knowing the when and where of a social gathering and being invited are very different things. If we are not friends, I understand and will be happy to just give one another space and link up with other people at work. But the way this is being handled by two adults in a professional capacity is really inappropriate and immature. The silent treatment and avoidance are inappropriate and immature. I wish you all the best. Thanks, OP. Leslie left me on red. Marissa sent me this text in verbatim. Okay, is that how you feel? After everything that I did to help you when you were struggling, don't talk to me at work. Later, Carrie asked if she can call me. According to her, Leslie texted the group chat that I was going, even though I wasn't invited. So Carrie reserved a spot for me at her birthday dinner. When I didn't show up, Carrie took it as me ghosting her. She was upset and told everyone else what happened, hence the silent treatment. I told her that I never got an invite and our previous conversation didn't imply that I was attending. We kept talking for a bit and in the end Carrie needed some time to think about the situation. Will I continue being friends with them? No. I'll be cordial but keeping it strictly work related. I'll have to find some better friends. Melting emoji. Well OP, good riddance and hopefully you find better friends. You don't need this drama. Thanks for sharing OP. And now let's finish this video with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliant and it's by user Quirky Marsupial 420. If I tell you to spray fairways, you spray fairways. No problem, boss. My first job out of college, I was working as an assistant superintendent on a golf course. One of the most common jobs I was assigned was to spray pesticides on fairways, green tees, etc. One particular day, I was spraying fairways and one of the crew guys who was on the next hole over needed help with their machine because it had broke down. So I stopped spraying and went over and helped him figure out what was wrong with the machine. My boss, the superintendent, came riding up on his golf cart and started absolutely blasting me for stopping and told me that if my job is to spray fairways, that is the only thing I need to be worried about. So I got back on the spray rig and kept on spraying. 2 weeks later, the same exact scenario happened. I was spraying fairways and a crew guy needed help out on the course. I just kept spraying and ignored the crew guy. My boss was making his rounds on the golf cart and came over to me and started yelling at me, saying that if I see someone that needs help, I need to be able to break off from what I'm doing and help that person. I'm a manager and that's my job, yada yada. Then he goes, "Do you understand me?" And I said, "No, I don't. 2 weeks ago, I did exactly that, and you told me to keep spraying fairways if that is my task." He got all red in the face and drove off in his golf cart and came back like 30 minutes later and told me to just use my best judgment from now on if it looked like a crew guy needed help. Well, OP, it's kind of like a malicious loop. I mean, first you're doing the second thing that he asked you, and then you were doing the first thing that he asked you, and he's just an idiot. But in the end, just gave you the freedom to use your best judgment. Thanks for sharing, OP. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.